Coming up on City Beat, the recent passing of the great Muhammad Ali after a brave battle with Parkinson's disease prompted us to visit the Lou Ruvo Center for Brain Health in Las Vegas. We will share with you some of the groundbreaking treatment and research taking place at this clinic. Plus, the Las Vegas Arts District is one more gallery strong. We'll take you inside Bash Fine Arts Studio. And what were you doing 20 years ago? Well, the city of Las Vegas was launching a brand new show called City Beat. You're watching it right now. Take a trip down memory lane with us to the very first show. Hi, everybody. Welcome to City Beat from the KCLV TV studios. I'm your host, Nancy Byrne. There's a very good reason why we are here. We are celebrating 20 years of bringing you this magazine format show called City Beat. A little bit later on in the show, we're going to take you back to the very beginning, which looked quite a bit different than it does today. Now, if you're a city resident, if you haven't already, you will be receiving a letter in the mail from the city. It's going to be giving you an opportunity to insure something in your home that you probably don't even know needs to be insured. Now, when these letters went out last year, a lot of people just threw them away thinking it was a scam. Here's more on what that letter is all about and how it could end up saving you thousands of dollars. There's something that lies beneath every neighborhood street that is vitally important, but most likely gets very little thought by property owners. It's your sewer line. Something most people don't know is that should there be a rupture or leak, you could very well be responsible for the repairs. And depending on how extensive the repairs may be, it could run you thousands of dollars. So the city has partnered with Service Line Warranties of America, an A+ Better Business Bureau rated company, to offer you an inexpensive way to protect yourself in the event of sewer line damage.
It's a voluntary program where our residents have an opportunity to ensure the piece of infrastructure that they're responsible for. A lot of times they don't know it, but the sewer line is the residents' responsibility from the main, which is almost about midway in the street, to their building. So this is a great program to help cover that risk.
Christina Swallow says the policy is about $6 a month, a small price to pay should your sewer line become damaged.
We've had property owners that have told us that their expenditures have been over thousands of dollars. And that's not something we think about or prepare for. It's which is why an insurance program is a good way to manage that risk.
So if you live in the city limits and get the letter, you don't have to take part in the offer. But if you choose to do so, Swallow says it's not a scam. On the contrary, it's your city looking out for you. For more information, you can go to lasvegasnevada.gov/sewer line warranty, or you can go directly to Service Line Warranties of America, which is slwofa.com/Las Vegas. Switching gears now, as we all know by now, the great Muhammad Ali died on June 3rd at the age of 74 from complications from Parkinson's disease. Since he battled it so publicly and so bravely, it put a spotlight on the devastation it causes to its victims as well as their loved ones. So we thought this might be a good time to talk about how fortunate we are to have the Lou Ruvo Center for Brain Health Cleveland Clinic right here in Las Vegas, where groundbreaking treatment and research takes place every day. From the outside, the Lou Ruvo Center for Brain Health Cleveland Clinic looks more like an exotic museum or theater. But as incredible as the Frank Gehry designed building looks on the outside, it's the work that goes on inside that is truly amazing. This medical center is dedicated to the pursuit of more effective treatments for brain diseases, such as Parkinson's disease, the disease that recently made headlines with the death of Muhammad Ali on June 3rd, 2016. Dr. Ryan Walsh is the director of Parkinson's disease and the movement disorders program here at the clinic. He feels Ali's very public fight against Parkinson's put a spotlight on the disease, a spotlight that can only serve to help patients in the future. In light of Ali's death, we were inspired to take a closer look at the work being done here to treat and eventually cure Parkinson's and other brain diseases, starting with a lesson on exactly what Parkinson's is.
So Parkinson's is a neurodegenerative disease, meaning there's accumulating damage to the brain and nervous system that's caused by a mutation in a protein called synuclein, whose role in normal everyday life is poorly understood. But once it becomes mutated, it becomes sticky. It binds to other proteins in the brain and nervous system the wrong way, causes damage to cells. Those cells die off and that damage spreads.
Right now, there's no way to stop that process. And as different parts of the brain are damaged, you see the symptoms commonly associated with the disease, such as tremors, slowness, and difficulty with movement and speech. Because of the wide range of damage it does on the body, Dr. Walsh says it takes a team of doctors to approach the treatment when a diagnosis is made.
So it takes far more than a pill. You need a lot of partners. You need physical and occupational therapy, cognitive and behavioral therapy, psychiatry, gastroenterology, cardiology, urology. There's a lot of different parts of the nervous system that are affected by Parkinson's, and thus a lot of different organs in the body that end up being affected.
Which brings us to something else the staff is dedicated to here, and that is not only treating the patient, but supporting the caregivers as well.
Patients have a hard time taking medications multiple times a day. They may have increased risk for falls. They may not be able to get around the house as easily. They may have an impact on work. So the more a caregiver understands that, appreciates that, and integrates that concept into their day-to-day life, the better the patient will ultimately do.
But state-of-the-art treatment for patients and compassionate support of their caregivers are only two components of this clinic. Research is the other one. Dr. Walsh says thanks to a grant from the National Institutes of Health, doctors are currently conducting research that will lead to a better understanding of Parkinson's and Alzheimer's and how to diagnose those diseases.
Under the leadership both from Larry and Camille as well as from Jeff Cummings and leadership in our main campus in Cleveland, we've really now established over the last 6 years the critical infrastructure to do what it is that we really want to do, both on the patient care side, on the caregiver side, and now on the research side.
Treatment, care, and groundbreaking research all taking place in this interesting-looking building in the heart of Las Vegas. As a doctor who's dedicated his career to treating Parkinson's disease, Dr. Walsh says being part of the staff here is not only fulfilling, it also gave him a moment he will never forget, meeting the late, great Muhammad Ali.
It was a very important moment for me because Muhammad really helped put the concept of Parkinson's disease on the map, but more importantly, the concept of neurodegenerative disease. If you look at neurodegenerative disease, it already outstrips cardiology and cardiovascular disease and cancer on economic burden. And this is the tip of the iceberg of the baby boomer generation. So what Muhammad has really done is far larger than just Parkinson's disease. He's brought a spotlight onto a significant public health burden that otherwise may not have been seen the same way that it is. And what more can you do as a human being?
Well, as I said earlier, we really are fortunate to have the Lou Ruvo Center for Brain Health right here in our backyard. If you have never seen the beautiful Frank Gehry designed building, it's located in Symphony Park, right in the heart of Las Vegas's downtown. We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we already know we live in the greatest city in the world, but now it seems others are catching on. We'll have that story when we come back. Congratulations to the City of Las Vegas Employee of the Month, Joshua Vinoya. We've all been witness to the increasing number of tragedies involving gun violence in our country and around the world. So Joshua decided to do something about it. He took it upon himself to research, coordinate, and prepare a comprehensive active shooter training course for city employees. Working with the city's Department of Public Safety, U.S. Marshals, and our organizational health team, Joshua has now taught this class to more than 500 city employees. Joshua recognized that law enforcement officers are trained in how to react and prepare for active shooter events, but civilian employees often are not. Thanks to Joshua, his fellow employees are now better prepared, making for a safer workplace and a safer City of Las Vegas. Welcome back to City Beat from the KCLV TV studios. Well, we all know that Las Vegas is one of the greatest cities in the world, but now others who are actually in the business of rating cities seems to think so as well. It was announced on March 23rd that Las Vegas was a finalist as an All-America City. It's a big deal and takes a great deal of work to even apply for the distinction. Well, on June 16th, the delegation that did all the work on the application process left City Hall and headed to Denver, Colorado to find out if we had won. And in true Las Vegas style, it was quite the send-off. To say there was dancing in the streets is not really an exaggeration. Out in front of Las Vegas City Hall, Billy Patterson's High Steppers were dancing to beat the band. So what was all the fuss? Well, it was the big send-off celebration for the city delegation headed to Denver, Colorado to see if our distinction as an All-American City finalist would in fact change to All-American City winner.
This is exciting.
Earlier in the morning, city leaders, staff, participating students, Clark County School District representatives, and sponsors gathered for a ceremony in City Hall's Now Cafe, congratulating the team that worked so hard to apply for this distinction.
Good morning, everybody, and thanks for being here.
The team was headed up by our own Dr. Lisa Morris-Hibbler, director of the city's Youth Development and Social Innovation Department. She explained the significance of this honor.
First of all, it began 67 years ago. And in that time, 22 attempts have been made by Nevada. 22 attempts, okay? The first one started in 1966 with the North Las Vegas. And since then, Boulder City, the state of Nevada, Clark County, Ely, Hawthorne, Mesquite, North Las Vegas, Reno, Sparks, Washoe County, and Uriton have all submitted their application. And to date, this is only the second time that a city in Nevada has been a finalist. And as Scott said, we've never won, but that's all about to change.
She also explained the hard work that went into applying.
We had to prepare a proposal that was over 25 pages. We met every 2 weeks for 6 months since August 2015. We attended 6 webinars, and then we learned we were a finalist on March 23rd.
We also learned from our deputy city manager, Scott Adams, that winning carries a lot more weight than simple bragging rights.
There's a lot of things that benefit the city and the community as a result of this award. We're going to see increases in tourism, economic development, and even the city's bond ratings could have an impact through this award. It's that important to cities being named an All-American City.
Some final good wishes came from Mayor Pro Tem Steve Ross and Councilman Ricky Barlow.
In the words of my homie DJ Khaled, all we do is win, 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 no matter what. We're bringing it home, baby.
Finally, Dr. Morris-Hibbler summed up this experience with this perfect sentiment.
So remember, Las Vegas was built on making the impossible possible. We're going to tell our story of how we went from Sin City to Super City. And we're going to demonstrate that our community is dedicated to ensuring that all students are successful in school and life. Viva Las Vegas!
And the party moved to the City Hall lobby for some more dancing. And a group photo of the delegation before moving outside and onto the bus.
I'm feeling great!
Then it was off to the airport with a show of support from our very own Las Vegas Fire and Rescue. Then on to Colorado to find out if we will bring home a distinction never brought home by a Nevada city before, Las Vegas All-America City. Well, we didn't actually win as an All-America City, but we did win an award for our outstanding use of social media to communicate with our residents and, in fact, the whole world. Well, one of the reasons Las Vegas is so great is because we embrace the arts. In fact, our arts district continues to grow. Recently, a ribbon-cutting ceremony was held at Bash Fine Arts Studio. It's a studio with roots in California that's now putting roots in downtown Las Vegas. Welcome to Bash Fine Art, a gallery that features art that falls into the genre of pop art surrealism. The owner of the gallery says he came here from San Francisco in the hopes of continuing the growing popularity of this art.
So my entire intention was to come here and introduce the Las Vegas community to an aspect of the fine art world which isn't being sort of represented here. And that's pop surrealism. It's a genre that has taken some time to get recognition, but in the last few years has really risen to popularity, and now it's starting to become ordained, if you will, within the fine art world.
So what is it? It's oil on canvas, born out of street art, tattoo art, that sort of arena. And he says while many think the paintings are actually photoshopped, on the contrary, they are strictly old school.
They come from a particular approach to creating art, which is sort of old school, if you will. They start out with drawings and they work through their drawings, and you can see the final drawings for most of these paintings we have in the show of David Van Gogh's to give you an idea. So when they're completed with the drawing, then it's committed to canvas, and that's when the paint comes on and it grows into what it is.
On June 16th, the official ribbon-cutting ceremony was held. The celebration was headed up by one of the studio's neighbors, Joshua Molina, owner of Makers and Finders Coffee Shop.
Today, we are here to celebrate a fantastic addition to the Las Vegas arts community, artist Anthony Luzzi and Bash Fine Art Studio. Bash Fine Art is a reflection of the excitement and of the art culture here in Las Vegas.
Mayor Carolyn Goodman echoed his enthusiasm, welcoming Anthony to what she says is a highly desired place to set up shop.
We're so excited that you chose to be in the heart of our cultural arts district and that you've chosen to be part of this great city and family of people who love it here and know, even though you're putting up with all the construction, we are really on a rise to be highly recognized as a world-class city. And art is very, very much intertwined with that.
She presented a certificate of congratulations from the city.
So I congratulate you on behalf of the city, all the residents.
And together, the ribbon was cut.
1, 2, 3.
Well done.
It's been a journey for Anthony. He set out from San Francisco more than a year ago to see this day come to fruition.
I've been here about a year looking for the right space. We finally found it and got it refurbished. Took a minute, but once it was completed, it turned out to be quite a nice space.
Neighbors say this beautiful place gives people just one more reason to come downtown.
And to see everything going alive, now it's an art, the art gallery, there's another one next door, many businesses opening, so it's really exciting, and with the upcoming development to see that there's going to be a time that we're going to be able to walk by around here and see this place converting to a beautiful place.
The exhibits are usually up about 5 weeks. If you'd like to visit the studio, it's located at 1009 South Main Street. Well, there's a lot of talent in Las Vegas when you think about all the shows on the Strip and in downtown Las Vegas. The musicians, singers, and dancers. Where do they go when they retire? Well, some of them go to the Senior Idol Showcase. It's a show that's held every year for the past 13 years, and it proves that when it comes to talent, there is no shelf life.
Okay, here we go. You ready?
Ready.
Okay, hit it.
We say some words, but it's on the CD.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's too late, baby, now it's too late.
Seeing and hearing sound checks and last-minute rehearsals right before the Senior Idol Showcase clearly shows it's not too late for these talented performers to strut their stuff.
And I think to myself, what a wonderful world.
This was the 13th year for the showcase, and there is no shortage of acts. This year, it was held at the Charleston Heights Art Center.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. We have about 25 acts, mixed acts from comedy to solo singing, duet singing, dancing, all sorts of different acts. Just seniors that are 50 years of age and older showing us their talents that they've developed throughout their lifetime.
Performers like former Miss Senior Nevada runner-up Barbara Eubanks.
That I think this is wonderful that seniors have an opportunity to show their talents and say, hey, at 71 years old, you can still do this and do it well.
And Lamar Hill, who has a variety of talents.
Well, I've been doing it probably since they started about 12, 13 years ago. And I started out doing comedy and impressions. And then I got kind of tired of trying to be funny, and I decided I'd try to sing, and if they didn't like that, then I didn't want to do the show. But they said, okay, you can sing too. So that's why I'm here.
Then there's this young lady who would end up bringing down the house with her granny hip-hopper, the punk rocker performance.
Well, actually, I like rap, okay, and I love hip-hop. In fact, I've been to Germany twice with UNLV, and we did hip-hop there. Okay, so I am a student of UNLV, and I get my degree in fine arts. And this has kind of led me into the whole aspects of theater, singing, dancing, acting, backdrops, music.
So let's take just a moment to watch some of the show, emceed by Tony Weeks.
All right, everybody's looking great here this evening.
How can you tell?
Yeah, I can see you. I'm looking at you right now.
Take my whole life to the big black crow, clap for their wings and go.
Well, you can cry me a river, cry me a river. I cried a river over you.
This is not only a great show for people to come see, for the performers, it's a way to show that talent doesn't go away with age.
I think the ones that are participating get to continue to showcase their skills. Some of them have been professional dancers. Some of them have been professional dancers on the strip. Whatever they've done in their lifetime, they get to continue to pursue their lifetime dreams as a senior and to showcase, again, their talents.
I'm 81 years old. And when you get to be my age, just the fact that you get up and get out and do something, good, bad, or indifferent, so long as your heart's there, that's what counts, I think.
And I think it's absolutely important that we keep going and keep doing what we love to do. And when you get up there, you tend to think, all right, this is how much time I have left and this is what I want to do. And it's really funny because the bucket list keeps getting longer.
And if making people laugh and feel good was on Ann's bucket list, well, that's one thing she can cross off now. We're going to take another break, and when we come back, we're going to travel back 20 years to the very beginning of the show, City Beat, and visit with the original host, Brian Willett. Stay with us.
No more pencils, no more books, no more teachers, dirty looks.
School's out
for summer.
What this place needed was better graduation rates. So we worked with schools like Henry Ford High, and now they're up 18%.
To help us do more good this year, go to unitedway.org because great things happen when we live united.
Welcome back to City Beat. I probably do not need to introduce this young man standing next to me. Yes, young.
I did that already.
And getting younger every day after retirement. Brian Willett, you know he used to host this show, but you might not know, you actually started the show.
Way back in '96, June of '96 was our very first show.
20 years, where did it go? You did it for 8 years. I've been doing it for 12.
Yeah, and boy, have you improved it.
Well, oh, stop it. I don't think so at all. But you know what? I think it would be fun to immediately take a little walk down memory lane and look at that very, very first show.
Welcome to City Beat. Hi, I'm Brian Willett.
See, you haven't changed a bit.
Oh, right.
You look great.
20 years ago, I had hair.
Well,
I had hair.
He still does. Tell us a little bit about how it all got started and where the name came from.
Well, actually, KCLV was given birth by LVFD TV. For the first 4 years, we were broadcasting out of the Fire Training Center on Mojave, next to the Animal Foundation. When the city decided it was going to get into the TV production business, they had the option of either starting from scratch, which meant personnel, technology, a location, or taking over the fire department's capability. the then fire chief was very generous about not only producing a program within the fire department, but loaning us out. We did programs on the Bi-State Superspeed Train Commission, the Animal Foundation, and others. So we had kind of a reputation, and Kathy Hansen, who was the PIO for then Mayor Jan Jones, said, let's just take those guys. And
And City Beat was born.
And City Beat was
she's
born.
the one that came up with the name?
She was the one that came up with the idea.
So what were you trying to accomplish with this? Because government TV has kind of a bad rap. Government TV, I don't know what it used to be 30 or 40 years ago, but it has certainly improved. It started improving 20 years ago.
It actually started really improving 12 years ago.
What were your goals? What were you hoping to tell the viewers?
Well, basically, our mission was to introduce the public to city government, and not just the leaders, because most people had a sense about who was the mayor and who was on the council. But there's more to city government than just its leaders. There's the people of government, and there's the departments in government. So, I mean, even in the opening of the program, our first mission was to include as many different departments in the opening sequence.
Long open.
Long open, yeah.
So, are there any stories that jump to mind? Because you said it's not just city leaders, it's the whole city staff, but it's also the people that live here.
Oh, I have a slew of stories.
Well, let's keep it to one or two.
There was one. The one that comes to mind the most is we were taping over at the Senior Center over here in Bonanza and Las Vegas Boulevard. And we were doing a program on tax preparation for seniors. And while I was there, one of the other staffers said, you know, if you really want to do a good show, there's a bunch of seniors that assemble in the back room. There's a piano, and they all play and sing along. And I thought, this sounds great. I mean, I grew up with my mom's music, so the Great American Songbook is my music.
Exactly.
You know, Sinatra and such. While I was thinking about it, another staffer came over and said, you know, come here. Maybe you want to listen to them first? And I had visions of all these tone-deaf people kind of singing along. But I went back and they were wonderful.
Yeah, and I'm sure you made their day, their week, their month.
There was a caveat to the story, that there was this one fellow, he was recently widowed. He used to sing Some Enchanted Evening from South Pacific, sing it to his wife. Well, his wife passed. So we did the story sort of around him. Because City Beat is on the internet, he was able to let his children scattered all over the country and his grandchildren, and they all got to see him sing Some Enchanted Evening one last time.
Oh, that's wonderful.
You know, and that is government in action.
There you go. So we're almost out of time, but can you tell me what any challenges you might have had very quickly?
You know the difference between a typewriter and a word processor? That's the difference in technology.
Yes.
And you have so much better, you know, equipment now. I mean, look at the set, the studio. For the first 4 years, it was the Fire Training Center using an auditorium as our set. And having to change it for other shows as the station grew. Yeah, that's amazing. Well, we want to surprise you with something. On the 10th year anniversary, you gave us a plant for City Beat's 10th year. In the move from Old City Hall to New City Hall, it got lost, so we thought it only appropriate to give you a plant for the 20th anniversary. Gee, and it matches your outfit.
I planned it that way. Brian, thank you so much. It's so good to see you, and thank you for creating City Beat, because you've given me a job for the past 12 years. And last words?
Last words. City Beat and this entire station is a station that's worth watching. You know, the logo is true. Watch KCLV Channel 2, where we bring city government closer to you.
And I don't think I could have said it better myself. Thanks, Brian.
Thank you.